This is QTV Nightly News coming to you live from our studios on Kaiba Avenue, and I am Jenna Basonko. Thanks for joining us here at the main news headlines. On Wednesday, President Barrow commissioned and handed over the completed solar-powered rural water supply Phase 4 project for communities in the West Coast region. The Vice President, Mohamed B.S. Jallow, visited the 17th GCCI Trade Fair in Bijilo on Tuesday. Amongst other things, he was impressed by the participation of young people and the packaging of their products. China and the Gambia signed an agreement on Tuesday for paired hospital cooperation between China's National Health Commission and the Gambia's Ministry of Health. The National Human Rights Commission, together with stakeholders, is validating its 2023 State of Human Rights in the Gambia report. And in international news, at the ongoing WTO 13th Ministerial Conference in Abu Dhabi, senior World Trade Organization officials announced successful negotiations and agreement by member states for the entry into force of a new WTO disciplines. Those were the main headlines, and now the news in detail. Do stay. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Jenna Basonko and this is QTV News. Now on Wednesday, President Barrow presided over the commissioning and handing over of the completed solar-powered rural water supply Phase 4 project for communities in the West Coast region. The project is jointly implemented by the Japanese International Cooperation Agency and the Directorate of Water Resources under the Ministry of Water Resources. Alice Cisse has the rest of that.
Despite many Gambian communities having access to drinking water, access to clean drinking water is an urgent development issue faced by many communities who are still dependent on wells, including Farabasutu, Sumakunda, Dobong, Andalai, among other communities in the West Coast region. According to the International Convention on Human Rights, the state is now acknowledged as duty bearer responsible for ensuring access to water. But where the state cannot do it alone, humanitarian and development partners such as the Japanese International Cooperation Agency are complementing the government's effort to achieve the goal of universal access to safe drinking water to communities such as this. This project provides 20 large water supply systems supplying safe drinking water to a number of clustered villages totaling 62 rural communities. President Barrow said this water project, which was launched in 2020, is an evidence to his government's unwavering commitment to ensuring every Gambian has access to safe drinking water and other fundamental needs in line with his government's development plan. He urged the beneficiary communities to take good care of the project to enhance good health.
As contained in our National Development Plan 2023-2027, our goal is to increase access to affordable and clean energy and achieve the climate action objectives. Those under the JICA 4 project, 20 solar-powered water supply systems now provided clean water to over 50,000 people.
Joyful residents turned out in large numbers to welcome and express gratitude to President Barrow and partners for addressing one of their needs, as they gave assurances to the President of their support and love. Farabasutu Alkalo Alu Sanyang and West Coast Region Governor Usman Bojang said the beneficiary communities have been struggling to access safe drinking water.
This is a testimony of the excellent relationship the government of His Excellency President Adam Barrow continue to harness for the benefit of every single Gambian. The goal of this government to improve the public health and living standard of rural populations as prescribed in the National Development Plan 2018-2021 shows how much importance is attached to this project.
Musa Drame, the Gambia's Minister of Fisheries, Water Resources and National Assembly Matters, and Hiro Misi Morisita, JICA Regional Director for West Africa based in Dakar, respectively, welcome the partnership as a beginning of what they hope will be a lasting one.
I am happy to report that the construction and installation of 20 new solar-powered water supply facilities in the 5 administrative regions of the country funded by the government of Japan were completed in December 2023, and during your last Meet the People's tour, you handed over 16 of those facilities to the respective beneficiary communities for their use.
This project has been conducted as a grant aid project, but our cooperation remained dynamic and diversified, such as technical cooperation.
The communities used the president's visit, which they said is the first by a sitting president, to appeal for more social amenities such as electricity, fence and water supply to the Forabasutu Women Garden, among others. The president promised to engage his agriculture minister to look at possible ways of addressing their concerns. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cissé.
The Vice President of the Gambia, Mohamed B.S. Jallow, on Tuesday visited the 17th GCCI Trade Fair in Bijilo. Amongst other things, the Vice President was impressed by the participation of young people and the packaging of their products. More in this report. Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industries International Trade Fair is an exhibition event in the Gambia, which creates a platform for enterprises locally and internationally to network and promote their goods and services. Annually, businesses from a range of sectors, including agriculture, the fashion and beauty industry, food, tourism and financial services, amongst others, participate at the trade fair. The Vice President, Mohamed B.S. Jallow, gave this reaction after touring the GCCI Trade Fair grounds on Tuesday.
Actually, we are very elated, and first of all, to see the youths and the women, in trade, and of course, showing that the possibilities that are within this country. And I think, with the support from the various institutions, we see that the youths now have an opportunity rather than going through irregular migration. We see the opportunities that they have here. Producing some wonderful things, properly packaged. That we see that it can be an example for others to follow. And we are also impressed with the participation from various countries.
The Vice President was accompanied by the President of the GCCI, Idrissa Mas Jobe, who highlighted that his team have maintained the trade fair's international recognition by attracting participants from the ECOWAS regions, Asia and Europe.
It is said that communication only makes people to want to try, but loyalty comes from experience. So the people that are coming have said it themselves that the entrance to the Gambia is good. They love the country and they love the GCCI trade fair, and I think that is why we have a lot of repeaters coming back year in, year out.
Young people are among the main participants at the GCCI Trade Fair annually. Their participation is significant for their visibility and eventual growth of their businesses. Khadija Baji is the founder of DJ's All Natural.
It's been so great so far. I think one understanding that people should also have is that trade fair is not all about selling. It's also about networking. It's about meeting new people. And you also as an entrepreneur, it's all about you also going out to meet other people, see what they do. It's been a great experience for us because people love our brand and of course they're purchasing our products.
Looking around the venue, it is arguable that the participation of young people in this year's GCCI Trade Fair appears less than in previous years, when there used to be a youth pavilion covering 90% of cost for youth. In the absence of that opportunity for young people, what is the GCCI doing to maintain their participation?
But we can always improve more. The youth pavilion, which used to be a very popular element of the trade fair, is still very much part of our trade fair. It's much discounted still to continue the encouragement of youth participation. So we still have that. Perhaps we can continue creating more awareness. This time around, it's 50%, where the youth have to come up with the 50% contribution, which is still a good discount.
GCCI is a non-profit membership organization which facilitates business development, promotes trade, and advances the interests of the Gambian businesses locally and internationally. Through the GCCI, Gambian businesses also participate in trade fairs organized in the West African sub-region and beyond. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jenna Basong. China and the Gambia on Tuesday signed an agreement on paired hospital cooperation between the National Health Commission of China and the Gambia's Ministry of Health. The agreement marks a significant step towards expanding China-Gambia cooperation to enhance the Gambia's health sector service delivery. Mamadou Lamin Choi has the rest of that.
This agreement is another momentous development in the deepening mutual cooperation between Banjul and Beijing. China's ambassador to the Gambia, Li Jin, and Dr. Ahmadu Lamin Samate, the Gambia's Minister of Health, signed a new cooperation agreement that will significantly contribute towards the ongoing transformation of Gambia's health system.
All this existed cooperation, we'd like to explore our cooperation. Today is an example. That's why we signed this agreement. Yeah, this is a hospital cooperation. Yeah, I think it will make our cooperation in the health more institutionalized. Yeah, ask these two hospitals. One from China is a very famous hospital in the eastern part of China. The other is the public hospital Edward Francis here. Ask them to set up a kind of, I also call it a sister relationship.
More recently, the reignition of the technical assistance by bringing in highly qualified Chinese experts to work in the health sector, especially Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, where they provide direct clinical services to the people of this country, and also help to train the young doctors to become more experts in those fields of medicine, has been phenomenal.
This cooperation agreement is in line with President Xi Jinping's announcement at the 73rd World Health Assembly that China was set to establish a cooperation mechanism for its hospitals to pair up with 30 African hospitals. The Gambia, benefiting from this cooperation, is manifesting its growing ties with the People's Republic of China.
I think after the rainy season, I hope after rainy season, we can send a large amount of medical equipment to Gambia. It will cost, I think it's worthy of $70 million. I think it will be bring some benefits for the Gambian health sectors.
In the health sector, it has been phenomenal. There has been a historical representation of Chinese medical doctors here in Bansang, and they became household names. Now, the infrastructural development, the construction of facilities in Kiangkarantaba, Kudang, Kaur, and even in Bansang, which is now an RCH site, are all testaments of the participation of the Chinese government in the health sector in this country.
China-Gambia cooperation in the field of medical health dates back to 1976, when both countries signed a joint protocol on sending medical teams to support our critical healthcare needs. Since then, China has sent more than 200 medical personnel to the Gambia, built health facilities across the country, and provided life-saving medical equipment and training opportunities to Gambian healthcare workers in several medical fields. Mahmoud Lamin Choi, QTV News.
Significant step there from that story by Mamadou Lamin Choi. We will now go for a short commercial break, and when we return, we have some more local and international news stories. Do stay with us.
The future is now with QCell's 5G network. Experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fixed Internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled devices. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyabus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Never before in the Gambia, QCell is giving you an unbeatable offer. Activate our 5G network on your 5G-enabled phone and enjoy free internet for 7 days. Yes, you heard that right. Activate QCell's 5G on your phone and experience what true 5G internet feels like. Get your QCell SIM cards activated today at the foreign care centers Banjul, China-Gambia, Brikama, Bursubi Turntable, Bakau Airport, and Kairaba Avenue headquarters. Rush now and be part of the future with QCell's 5G. Free internet for 7 days only with QCell. For more information, call QCell Customer Care on 111. QCell Sunyabus. We innovate. Orders follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV News, and I am Jenna Basonko. Now, the National Human Rights Commission, together with stakeholders, is validating its 2023 State of Human Rights in the Gambia report. The report highlights matters concerning people's access to their fundamental human rights, including incidents of rights abuse by the state. Mohamed Lamin Choi again.
The National Human Rights Commission, as an independent institution of state, is mandated to promote and safeguard the fundamental human rights of all in the Gambia. That watchdog mandate tasks the Commission with investigating and presenting annual reports on the state of human rights protection in the country. At this event, the Commission invited human rights actors in the country to the presentation of its 2023 draft report on the state of human rights in the country. Jennifer John is the Vice Chairperson of the National Human Rights Commission.
The TRRC report, progress has been made on the report in that government recently has enacted some of the laws. The Victims Reparations Act of 2023, the Mutual Legal Assistance Act of 2023, the Prevention and Prohibition of Torture Act 2023, and the Ban from Public Office, which was long-awaited Act of 2023.
Thematic areas such as access to justice, right to liberty and security of the person, independence of the media, and socio-economic and cultural rights. In a draft report, the Commission highlights the occurrence of acts of torture and the arrest of social media influencers and human rights activists, abuse of power by state security personnel in arresting and detaining suspects beyond the constitutional limit of 72 hours.
The right to life is covered, and that is based on reports we had. And you all remember the shooting at the Sukuta traffic light of 2 police officers, for which our office even issued a press conference and asked government to, as soon as possible, find out the cause and come up with solution so that we don't have another incident like that.
The right to freedom of expression has also been examined in the draft 2023 State of Human Rights report in the Gambia. The report reveals that between 1st August to 15th October 2023, there were 5 instances when journalists, political figures and human rights activists were arrested for expressing their opinions on political issues through the mainstream media, social media and in public discourse.
We also have dealt with, for the first time in our report, on corruption. Recently, we organized a meeting where we looked at corruption and how it affects human rights, the daily lives of people, the economic, social, and cultural rights of citizens. The report also, there's a section on torture, inhuman and degrading treatment of individuals. There was a case of Madi Jobate, there was a case of Bora Suso, and a few others which we investigated and even involved, had to talk to the police and find out exactly, and led to their release. We had to do follow-ups.
After validation, the Commission will present the report, which contains findings and recommendations, to the government and to the National Assembly for consideration and adoption. This is significant because the state is the primary duty bearer for the enforcement and protection of people's rights and liberties. Mohamed Lamin Choi, QTV News.
Not only the capital witnessed Independence Day commemorations, the community of Jainier in Kiang East in the Lower River region commemorated Gambia's 59th independence on Sunday with some foreign visitors in attendance. Our regional correspondent Bakari Balde attended the event, and this is his report.
Independence Day is a time to reflect on how far have we fared as a sovereign state after ending several decades of colonial rule. The Gambia gained its independence on 18 February 1965 from the British. The community of Kiang celebrated the day to reflect on the day the Union Jack was brought down and the Gambia flag hoisted at Makati Square in Banjul on that historic day. Masane Sane, the village alcalo, gave the welcoming remarks.
We are so happy to celebrate the day. It is a big program, as you can see on TV.
Sadaura Kairaba Jawara was among the people who brought independence for us. Let's pray that Allah grant him Jannah. After Jawara came, Yaya Jammeh, and today we have President Adama Barrow.
Fabakar Sane, a native of the village, outlined some of the reasons for commemorating Gambia's independence.
We do this because the time we are child at primary schools, there's a decentralized independence in this country. We have the national independence, notwithstanding also we have the regional independence. But now most of the time the regional independence is no more. Everything is centered at the central level. Bringing young people together to share with them, to socialize, they also should at least feel the benefit of the doubt. As young people from the rural area, we all know we started from here a long time ago. There's a need for such avenues to be created, alongside with discipline, moral lesson, debate, dancing, we do sports and everything.
Anna Karwana, head of Mission Gambia Malta, was also present at the celebration, explained what it is like to celebrate independence in the Gambia in comparison to her country, Malta, which was also colonized by the British.
To me, it brought tears to my eyes because 53 years ago, we also received independence from the British. We were under the British. We were colonized by the British like you are here. And that also made it easy for me to come here for the language, because English is our second language as it is here. So, yeah, this is not the first time. We celebrate in September, exactly the same amount of years, but in September, 24th or 25th of September, we celebrate independence in Malta. So today, with all these children, I'm in Malta, I'm feeling that I am truly with the Gambian children, and so I'm celebrating the same way like I would celebrate in my country.
Celebrations featured children wearing cultural dresses, dancing, moral lessons by the village elders, and some physical fitness exercises. The organizers of this event hope to commemorate the event annually from now on. Bakari Bale, QTV News.
From that story, let's now take a look at news beyond our borders. On the sidelines of the ongoing WTO 13th Ministerial Conference in Abu Dhabi, senior World Trade Organization officials announced the successful negotiations and agreement by member states for the entry into force of new WTO disciplines. QTV's Ansumane Sonyasi is in Abu Dhabi, and this is his report.
This development is being hailed as one of the major highlights of the conference. WTO officials say the disciplines on services domestic regulation, which now enters into force, has been adopted by 71 member states at WTO MC13 here in Abu Dhabi following intense negotiations. The approving member states represent 92.5% of global services trade. They all expressed a strong commitment to implementing these new disciplines on services and domestic regulations. Manuel Tova, Costa Rica's trade minister, and Validis Dombrovski, the EU Commissioner for Trade, highlight how the institution of the new disciplines will impact good regulatory practices and the promotion of quality and transparency for all trade service providers.
This is a significant milestone for all of us as members and for the WTO as a multilateral organization. This agreement marks the first joint initiative to be concluded and taking legal effect out of those launched at the 11th Ministerial Conference in Buenos Aires.
Cutting red tape helps create new opportunities for service suppliers of all sizes. It benefits particularly micro, small and medium-sized enterprises as well as women entrepreneurs, those who typically face limited resources to navigate complex and costly requirements and procedures.
WTO MC13 chairperson Dr. Tani bin Ahmed Al-Zayudi and Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, the WTO's Director General, commend member countries for committing to the institution of the new disciplines. They also shared with journalists how the new framework caters to all spheres of the trade communal, and how India and South Africa were persuaded by negotiators after they had initially expressed concern with the instruments.
While goods and manufacturing, as well as commodities, will always play a role in our economy, much of our future prosperity will rely on export of services. And robust and internationally competitive service sector will itself be multiplier, strengthening our performance in all aspects of our economy.
I always say that services is the future of trade. They are the biggest source of output and employment, particularly for women and youth. And technology is making more and more services tradable, so that they have in most recent years been the biggest driver of commercial growth.
The new disciplines on services domestic regulations are also aimed at mitigating trade restrictive effects relating to licensing requirements and procedures. It is also hoped that the WTO legal framework will contribute to the promotion and consolidation of internal reforms while supporting the growth of domestic services sectors. Reporting from Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, Ansumana Isonyasi for KTV News.
Ansumana Isonyasi there reporting from Abu Dhabi. Now, before we end this news bulletin, let's recap our main headlines. On Tuesday, President Barrow commissioned and handed over the completed solar-powered rural water supply Phase 4 project for communities in the West Coast region. The Vice President Mohamed B.S. Jallow visited the 17th GCCI Trade Fair in Bijela on Tuesday. Amongst other things, he was impressed by the participation of young people and the packaging of their products. China and the Gambia on Tuesday signed an agreement for paired hospital cooperation between China's National Health Commission and the Gambia's Ministry of Health. The National Human Rights Commission, together with stakeholders, is validating its 2023 State of Human Rights in the Gambia report. And in international news, at ongoing WTO 13th Ministerial Conference in Abu Dhabi, senior World Trade Organization officials announced successful negotiations and agreement by member states for the entry into force of new WTO disciplines. Well, that is all we have for you in this edition of QTV News. Join us at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of our programs.